The birth of Shakya Muni Buddha was not at all sudden and accidental. His birth in Lumbini, Nepal is said to be the end result of countless acts of love, compassion and sacrifices from all his previous births. There are many Jataka stories telling about Buddha's past lives and sadhanas that he had made as a Bodhisattva in preparations for becoming a future Samyak Sambuddha. About 6,000 years ago, there was one such Bodhisattva prince named Mahasattva, known for his boundless love, goodwill and compassion. He was the youngest of the three princes of a powerful king, Mahasattva, somewhere in Nepal. One day, while taking a walk in the forest with his brothers, Mahasattva came across a tigress which had recently given birth to 5 cubs. She looked ill and too weak even to suckle her young, and Mahasattva was moved by her plight. He felt she would either die or make the cubs her own food. The prince searched for food to give her but found nothing. When he had gone a little further with his 2 brothers, he pretended to have forgotten something and returned to the tigress alone. Out of extreme compassion, he was determined to save the dying tigress even if it meant sacrificing himself. He approached her, took off his clothes and sat down beside her, ready to become her food. But when he found the tigress too weak to move, the prince fed her his own blood and flesh. The tigress then regained some of her strength and at last killed him to feed herself and the cubs. In this way, when he sacrificed his life to save the dying tigress, flowers showered from the sky, the earth also trembled, followed by an agitation in heaven as well. When his brothers came looking for him, they found only his clothes and bones left behind. Convinced that the tigress had preyed on their brother, they were overcome with sadness and informed the king in the palace at once. The whole kingdom was plunged into grief and the queen even fell unconscious. The king collected the remains, buried them in a sandalwood box and built a chaitya there in his honor. During the ritual service, there was a brilliant sparkle of light, Buddha Rasmi, in the shrine, followed by a celestial broadcast that Mahasattva was a great soul, Buddha Purush, and the future Samyak Sambuddha, that is Lord Buddha, who would realize the 4 noble truths and the Eightfold Path. Everyone realized that the prince was not just an ordinary person, but a bodhisattva who had achieved the highest order sacrifice, the Buddhist principle of Danaparamita. Interestingly, Mahasattva's sacrifice did not end with his death. About 3,500 years later, he was reborn in Lumbini as Shakya Muni Buddha and began his journey towards enlightenment. Those 5 tiger cubs became his first 5 disciples, and it was through them that Buddha had initiated his righteous cycles of preaching Dharma Chakra Pravartan. Today, there stand grand chaityas, monasteries and bihars at the site of his sacrifice. Besides them, thousands of manas, prayer wheels and artistic Buddha statues can even be seen, including a carved image of Mahasattva feeding the tigress his own flesh. This place is called Namo Buddha and is located 4 kilometers east of Kathmandu, the capital city of Nepal. Mahasattva's sacrifice has a religious and spiritual validity in Buddhist literature, as the Jataka stories are tales told by the Buddha himself about his many past lives. The story of Mahasattva feeding the tigress his own flesh can be found in the Bagre Jataka Katha of the Suvarnaprabha Sutra, ancient Buddhist literature, and the name of Prince Mahasattva appears in the Bodhisattva Avadhan Mala. Thus, Mahasattva's act of compassion and sacrifice had far-reaching effects and led to the birth of one of the most revered spiritual figures in history. It also serves as a reminder of the power of kindness, compassion, and the potential good that exists in all beings.